ESG and sustainability metrics. I'm often asked about that. How do we know what to measure? What do we measure? How do we measure it? You need to, and this is going to seem simplistic, you need to measure what matters. And keep that in mind, because what you're measuring is value created and impact. You need to find ways to understand. You've looked before in your strategy and policy, you looked at your ESG value that you're creating, both value for environment, society, value back to the company. Your metrics should look at how you measure that. How do you record the value that you're creating or the impact you're having? Some areas, if you're a Scope 1 emitter, you've got a framework for reporting on your greenhouse gases and other areas. In so many parts of ESG and sustainability reporting, the metrics may not be obvious. So the way I like to think about them, I like to start when I'm working on the strategy and policy, I'm looking at what are the value propositions. If I am developing a community livelihood program in a rural community and focusing it on women, and I'm doing that, in collaboration with a community organization. If I'm doing that as part of my social license or what part of how I work, I'm going to sit down with them. I'm going to say, okay, this is what you've said. You want livelihoods. You want to focus on women and livelihoods. How do we measure that? What are the metrics? Do we measure the number of women we train? It's probably a good metric. Do we measure the number of women that actually start to earn a livelihood and keep earning a livelihood? That's probably a good metric. Do we measure the number of women who might have been at-risk youth and we trained? There's no set way, but it's understanding what's the value for them and how is your program and your intervention doing at delivering that value. Maybe you're looking at environmental management, and you're trying to create policies, create activities that's going to reduce the environmental impact of your staff. So I know one business we just worked with, a finance business. They have a policy where 3 days a week their staff can work from home. 2 days a week they want them in the office. I don't care how good Zoom or Meet or anything is, face-to-face is important. It's important for me. What's the metric on that? How many commuting days did they miss? So when they commute, they're producing greenhouse gases, they're wasting their time. There's a social cost to commuting to and from work. There's a home care or daycare cost often. So you can develop metrics. The metrics do not have to be complicated. They should be tied to the value that you expect to receive and deliver, and keep looking at them. Go back and look at them after a year. Look at them when you're doing your ESG impact report. You're going to use metrics. You're going to identify additional metrics you might want. When you develop the list of metrics that you want for a particular program, keep it simple. You don't want to waste all your time collecting data and analyzing it. Just get the ones that are key. If you find something that you think you should have and you missed, you can add it in later. If you find that you have something you don't need, put it in. But look for the metrics that can help you measure your progress at delivering value and capturing value from your ESG initiatives. Doesn't have to be complex, but it has to be focused on value. The thing with ESG and sustainability metrics, you need to focus on value. You need to focus on value delivered to stakeholders, value delivered back to the company, negative value, the cost. If you've got high environmental impact, you need to measure it. You need to start looking at how you can reduce it. Your data will help you to manage that better, but it doesn't have to be complicated. The worst thing you can do is create a complex set of data for a policy or a program that is too complex to gather and analyze that data, and then you don't have it. It's better to have simple data that you actually get than complex data that you don't get. That's the advice I have. Don't expect to get it perfect out of the gate. Be willing to look, is this the right data point? Should I be gathering other data points? Do I need this data point? Always be asking yourself those questions. Let the work you do guide and inform you and make you smarter.
At the CSR-ESG Institute, we're here to help you do more, be more, and achieve more. Our goal is to make your business stronger, better, more resilient, and more competitive, at the same time as you create social value and support the environment and ecosystems. For more information on how our team can support you, visit us at csrtraininginstitute.com or email our president and founder, Wayne Dunn, directly at wayne@csrtraininginstitute.com. Join us and create value and impact where business meets community.